Hi there, my name is Fid. I'm about to show you a tutorial on how to use GImageX to apply a .wim file to your computer. Now, go ahead and start plugging in the external hard drive to your computer. Once you do that, go ahead and power it on. Now, on most computers, it'll at the BIOS screen, it'll show you what button to press to bring up the boot menu options. In most HP computers, it'll be the F9 button. Now, here in this tutorial, I will go ahead and show you how to use that using a virtual machine. Just to let you know, my boot menu will look different from your guys because mine's a virtual machine. So once you turn the machine on, immediately at the BIOS screen, start pressing the, in most HP machines is F9. I'm not sure what it'll be on your machine, but you might want to check that at the BIOS screen. Once you do that, you'll get the as I mentioned, mine's will look different from yours. So it's the same concept. Make sure you select USB to boot from USB. Once you do that, hit enter. Now you will go ahead and see the Windows 8 logo. The reason why you're seeing this is because we're using the Windows ADK pre-environment boot files, which are built into Windows 8. It should work in any machine. So let's go ahead and wait for this to finish. Once this finishes loading, you should be able to see a command prompt window open. Alright, as you can see here, the command prompt just popped up. Wait for that to finish. Once it finishes doing what it has to do, you'll see the /Windows /System32. Now, as I worked with few people before on trying to get this image, they were having issues running the GImageX tool. Reason why is because sometimes it will not lead you to the right directory. What do I mean by that? I mean, as you can see here, the X, you're in the X drive. I've seen sometimes when you plug it into the machine, you're not on the Windows PE directory. So let's go ahead and start with that. Let's go ahead and do just type in disk part, hit enter. Alright, so once we're here, we're going to go ahead and do a list VOL. So what this is going to do is going to list the volumes. Hit enter. As you can see here, it'll tell you for each volume which letter it contains. In an example, in this video tutorial, my Windows PE has the X drive. If your Windows PE has a different letter, I would advise to go ahead and write down the letter that it has. So in this step, we're going to go ahead and do exit. Now, as I told you, please remember to that letter that Windows PE has, so that way we can make this possible. In this case, let's say my directory instead of X, it used to be D. In this case, all you have to do is type in the letter, colon, hit enter, and it'll take you to the directory. As you can see here, it already took me to Windows and System32 because I was already on that directory. Let's go ahead and once you're there, if you see this full path, Windows and System32, you can type in cd ... to go further back to the main root directory. So we'll type in cd ... twice. cd ... Alright, so now we're at the main directory. Like I mentioned, in your machine, it might have a different drive letter. So the following commands you still should be able to use them. So we're gonna go ahead and type in cd space GImageX /x64. Alright, the reason I'm typing this in is because with cd space, is telling the command prompt, okay, go ahead and go to the following directory in this drive. I have two folders. I have the GImage folder, and inside of that GImageX folder, I have the x64 folder, which contains the executable. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter. Alright, now we're there. Now we're going to go ahead and do the following command. We're going to go ahead and make sure we have this hard drive ready. So once again, we're going to go ahead and do a disk part, DISKPART, and hit enter. Alright, once we do this, we're going to go ahead and do a list disk. So it'll list all the disks that are we have on this computer. As you can see here, my virtual machine only has 20 gigs, and I chose those for a reason. In yours it might be maybe 80, 250, depends on how big your hard drive is. Let's go ahead and select the main hard drive, which usually is disk 0. So we're going to go ahead and do a select space disk space 0. Hit enter. Once it's selected, we're going to go ahead and type in the following command: clean, and then hit enter. What this does is it gets rid of all the partitions on the external on the main hard drive. So once we do that, we're going to go ahead and do a create partition primary. Now what this command does, once it creates the right now there's no partitions on the hard drive, so it's creating just one partition. As you can see, I didn't assign a size like in the external hard drive in the previous video, which means it will use up all the space on the hard drive as one partition. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter. Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and select partition 1 and hit enter. What this is doing is you're already in disk 0. You're going to go ahead and select partition 1. There is only one partition, so that one partition is now selected. Now we're going to go ahead and do is wipe that whole partition, that whole drive. So we're going to go ahead and type in format space fs equals ntfs space quick space label equals os disk. Alright, the reason why I want you to type it in like this is because right now we're going to do a quick format. If you don't type in quick, that format could take up to an hour. It could take up to an hour to wipe your whole hard drive. After that, I went ahead and typed in label equals os disk. What this does is as you can see up here, let me scroll up real quick. When we did the list of volumes, as you can see, we have the Windows PE, other files. At least this way, once we assign that label, we'll know which volume belongs to the OS disk. So let's go back and go ahead and hit enter. Now this could take maybe a minute or two. It shouldn't really take that long. Alright, as you can see here, it finally finished. It's now at 100%. This part successfully formatted the volume. Once we do that, we need to make this drive active so it'll be readable. The computer can see the partition. So we're going to go ahead and type in active. Once we type that in, we're going to go ahead and assign this a letter. It is very important that letter C is not used by any devices. So what we're going to go ahead and do is type in list vol, hit enter. Alright, as you can see here, the other files partition is using C. we need to clear up that letter so we can assign the main hard drive. As you can see here, the OS disk has no letter. We need to assign that letter C. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and select VOL space, and you would type in the volume number of any partitions that's using the C drive. In this case, we'll select number 2 and hit enter. We're gonna go ahead and assign this a different letter. We're gonna type in assign letter equals let's try to use B. Hit enter. Alright, now that we have assigned a different letter, we can confirm that by typing in list space VOL, enter. As you can see, no one is using letter C anymore. So we're going to go ahead and type in list. Actually, we're going to type in select space VOL 3. So we're going to go ahead and select the one with the OS disk label. Once that's selected, we're going to go ahead and type in assign letter equals C. Alright, once you've done that, you've successfully selected the OS disk to be letter C. So what we're going to go ahead and do is type in exit to exit out of this part, and we're going to go ahead and start using the GImageX tool. So we're going to go ahead and type in GImageX.exe, hit enter. Now this is the GImageX tool that we're going to be using to apply this image. Let's go ahead and go to the apply tab. For sources, we're going to go ahead and look for once we click on sources, we're going to go ahead and look for the .wim file. In this case, we're going to go ahead into other files. Now on your end, it will look different, but you should be able to have it as 1764-bit or Service Pack 164-bit or 32-bit, whichever you're using. In this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and use 64-bit. So once you select it, hit open, and the destination where that is going to go to is going to be the OS disk. Hit OK, then apply. Just to let you know, this might take a couple minutes. I've seen it go as far as 20 minutes, sometimes 8 minutes. It really depends on the speed on your machine. So let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward and resume as soon as it's almost finishing. Alright, as you can see here, the WIM successfully applied. In my case, it'll say 7 minutes 27 seconds. It could go higher, like I mentioned before. It really depends on your machine. Once you see this WIM successfully applied, you can go ahead and close this out. So let's go ahead and hit close, and then the exit button. Once we do that, now there is one last step. We need to type in the following command to make this this hard drive bootable. So we're gonna go ahead and type in C:\Windows \system32 \bcd boot.exe. So this is what this is gonna do is we're gonna make the Windows directory bootable. So here we're going to type in after the exe, we're going to type in space C drive : Windows, so that way our computer can boot up. So once you do that, hit enter, and it should show you that the files were created. So for example, here say boot files successfully created. Once you see that, you can go ahead and boot up your machine. So let's go ahead and type in exit, hit enter, Once you do that, the machine will reboot. As you can see here, it'll say starting Windows. Let's give it a few minutes. Alright, just to let you know, I will go ahead and pause the video and resume it in a few minutes. It will go through updating registry settings, making changes to your machine. So let's give it a few minutes for it to finish. Once those registry updates and services finish loading, the machine will restart. Once this restarts, it'll go through the whole process. Now, on these .wim images that I created, I did automate most things as far as Office product keys, Windows product key. So let's go ahead and wait for this to finish. Setup is preparing your computer for first performance. Setup is checking video performance. So after this, it should ask you for a computer name. Now for your company, there should be 3 letters. For example, for Consolidated Graphics, it'll be CGX. For your company, it'll be different. It'll have 3 letters to identify your company. In this case, we're gonna type in CGX. Oh, let's do it all caps. CGX dash, and then give it a name. In this case, we'll use test. Once you do that, hit next. Just wait for this Windows is finalizing your settings. After this is done, it should take you to the desktop. Alright, as you can see here, Windows 7 is now loading, and you have successfully used GImageX to apply a .wim file to your computer. So now you should have everything as far as Microsoft Office, pretty much most of the updates. Windows 10 does install most drivers. If there are any missing, please install them. If you have any questions, just let us know, and we can guide you through this. We do have a 64-bit and a 32-bit version of this image. As you can see, everything is loading now. And there you go. That's all you have to do. If you have any questions, please give us a call or send us an email at TSSG support. Thank you for looking at my video, and I hope you have success in using GImageX. Thank you.